There are some corners of our Earth where, the moment you set foot, it feels like you're no longer in this world, but have stepped into some other reality, some other dimension. Somewhere, water flows in a red color, just like blood. Somewhere, the ground itself seems to crack open, as if revealing the gates of hell. Somewhere, trees grow at such strange angles, like nature has broken its own rules. And somewhere in the depths of the ocean, an entire city still lies hidden in silence. Yes, you heard that right. An entire city, which time may have submerged, but its mysteries are still alive today. So, come on. Let's embark on a journey where we'll discover the 7 most mysterious places in the world that will shake your thinking to the core. And friends, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do it right now, because your one subscribe gives us the motivation to bring even more such mysterious and knowledge-packed videos. So let's not waste any time. Let's start the video. Imagine you're diving down into the ocean. The light is slowly fading, there's silence all around, and suddenly, right in front of you, an entire city emerges. Stone gates, temple steps, carvings of dragons and lions on the walls, as if time has frozen right here. This isn't some story or a movie scene. This is Shicheng, meaning Lion City, a 1,300-year-old city in China that's lying completely preserved today, 40 meters underwater. And the most shocking thing is that it wasn't sunk by an earthquake, flood, or natural disaster, but humans deliberately submerged it themselves. The year was 1959. A massive hydroelectric project was being built in China. They needed electricity. They needed development. And the cost of that development became an entire historic city. Thousands of people were relocated from there, and without much discussion, Shicheng was allowed to disappear into the water. Now just think about it. A city that had endured centuries of wars, dynasties, and the blows of time vanished in just a few days because of a human decision. But the story doesn't end here. Because it's underwater, away from air, sunlight, and pollution, Shicheng is surprisingly intact even today. The wood hasn't rotted, the stones haven't crumbled, even the carvings are clearly visible. Divers say that when they swim through this city, it feels like they've entered some ghost civilization, where people suddenly vanished. And that's where the fear creeps in, because this city forces us to ask an uncomfortable question. If an entire history can be submerged so easily, how safe are our cities today? Will there be another Shicheng in the future? Climate change, rising water levels, and decisions made in the name of development. Could all this together push more cities underwater in the times to come? And the most ironic thing is that Shicheng has now become a tourist attraction. People pay money to go see it. But while living above ground, we probably never truly understand what the real cost was: the death of a living city. So the next time we hear the word development, let's pause for a moment and definitely think. In this race for progress, are we not submerging our own history? Because Shicheng isn't just a sunken city. It's a terrifying glimpse of the future. Now let's come out from the depths of Shicheng and head to a place where water doesn't rule below, but reigns above the ground. Salar de Uyuni, the world's largest salt flat in Bolivia. At first glance, this place looks completely empty, white, flat, and endless. But as soon as a few raindrops fall, this ground suddenly transforms into the world's largest natural mirror, where the difference between sky and earth vanishes. Clouds appear below, humans seem to float in the air, and the mind refuses to believe for a moment that this is real. The excitement starts right here because this isn't just a beautiful spot, but one deeply connected to science and the future. Hidden beneath Salar de Uyuni is the world's largest lithium reserve. That same lithium that's the lifeblood of your phones, electric cars, and the batteries of the future. Even NASA uses this place for satellite calibration because such a flat surface doesn't exist anywhere else on Earth. But now urgency enters the story. As the world races toward green energy, the pressure for mining here is increasing, and the question is, will we slowly destroy this incredible natural wonder for the sake of future technology? The local people here say that this land isn't just a resource for them, but their identity. But in the face of global demand, their voice falls very short. And just think about it. The place that looks magical to you today in Instagram Reels, will that same place fill up with machines, roads, and factories in the times to come? Salar de Uyuni shows us an uncomfortable truth, that when humans start seeing something as useful, its beauty, its balance, everything gets left behind. We submerged Shicheng in water in the name of development, and now we're preparing to dig up Salar de Uyuni in the name of the future. History is repeating itself. Just the method has changed. And the real question isn't whether lithium is necessary or not. The real question is, can we learn to move forward without losing everything? Because if not, then future generations will only see Salar de Uyuni in pictures, as a place that once used to show the sky on the ground. And now, imagine leaving behind that shimmering mirror-like ground and arriving at the coldest, most desolate place on Earth, Antarctica, where all around there's just ice, silence, and not even a trace of life visible. But right in the middle of this white world, suddenly something appears that gives your mind a jolt. A red waterfall flowing from the ice, exactly like the Earth's vein has been cut, and blood is pouring out. It's called blood falls, and when scientists first saw it, even they couldn't believe this could be natural. The fear starts right here, because in a place like Antarctica, where everything feels like frozen death, blood flowing from there feels no less than a horror movie. At first, people thought it might be some algae or surface contamination, but as the research went deeper, the truth turned out even more unsettling. This water is millions of years old, and inside it is iron-rich liquid that turns red from rust when it comes into contact with air. But the real scary twist comes here. These microorganisms are alive in this water that need neither sunlight, nor oxygen, nor normal temperature. These creatures are living under the ice, in darkness, under extreme pressure, meaning in places where we thought life was impossible at all. And right here, excitement turns into fear, because if life on Earth can survive in such places, then how can we deny the possibility of life on planets like Mars or Europa? Blood Falls isn't just a weird waterfall, it challenges our entire understanding that our definition of perfect conditions for life might not be right at all. But there's urgency hidden here too, because Antarctica's ice is melting rapidly due to climate change. And if this ice completely changes, we'll not only lose this mystery, but also those clues that could tell us about Earth's past and maybe the universe's future. Just think, a waterfall that's been hidden under the ice for millions of years is in front of us today. And maybe in a few decades, it'll disappear forever. And then, we'll only be able to say that we ignored yet another warning. Because Blood Falls doesn't scare us just with its color. but with this truth that life finds a way no matter what. The question is, will humans be able to do the same? Leaving behind Antarctica's cold, blood-like ice, we arrive at a place where fear slowly turns into curiosity. Lake Hillier, a lake in Australia that looks completely pink, not just from afar, but even up close. And no, this isn't some drone filter or Instagram trick. The first time explorers saw it, they felt like someone had spilled paint on the earth. Because all around, there's blue ocean, green land, and right in the middle, a shocking pink lake. Such a contrast that the mind just doesn't want to accept it. The excitement reaches its peak here, because the surprising thing is that this lake's color doesn't change with the weather shifting, the angle changing, or the camera changing. But if you fill a bottle with its water, it stays pink even then. Meaning the secret isn't just on the surface, it's hidden inside the water. Scientists say it's because of some special types of algae and salt-loving bacteria. But the fun and slightly scary truth is that even after years of research, we still haven't fully understood how this pink shade stays so perfectly stable. Just think, if tomorrow morning the lake in your neighborhood suddenly turned pink, what would you do first? Take a photo or run away? Because anything the human mind doesn't understand makes it uncomfortable. Lake Hillier makes us feel exactly that unease, that nature is way ahead of our books and theories. But there's urgency here too, because climate change, human interference, and rising temperatures are slowly altering this delicate ecosystem. And if the balance gets disrupted, this pink lake could lose its color too. And along with it, we'll lose yet another question whose answer we might never get. Blood Falls showed us that life can survive even in extreme conditions. And Lake Hillier reminds us that nature doesn't just survive. It keeps quietly shocking us, without any explanation. And maybe that's the scariest part, because just when humans think they've understood everything, places like Lake Hillier come along and tell them that the real mysteries are still out there. Leaving behind the pink tranquility of Lake Hillier, we arrive at a place where nature doesn't joke around. It plays directly with your mind, the Devil's Kettle waterfall, a waterfall in the state of Minnesota in America, which looks completely normal at first sight. But as soon as you look closely, the story gets weird. Here, a river splits into two parts. One part flows ahead peacefully, and the other part falls into a round hole and completely disappears, without any sound, without any trace, as if the earth has swallowed it. The fear starts right here, because humans fear the most, what has no answer, and that's exactly what happens in Devil's Kettle. Over the past many decades, people have poured dyes into it, thrown GPS trackers, dropped ping-pong balls, but nothing has ever come back out. Just think, if your phone slips from your hand and falls in there, would you be upset or relieved that now no bills will come? Jokes aside, but even scientists have been troubled by this mystery, because according to normal geography, the water should emerge somewhere. Some theories say the water goes into underground tunnels. Some say it rejoins the other part of the river, but solid proof still doesn't exist. And this very uncertainty makes this place scary, because it reminds us that we can map nature, measure it, but we can't fully control or explain it. There's urgency here because due to climate change and erosion, river systems are changing, and it's possible that in a few years, this mystery might disappear along with its answer, or become even more confusing. Devil's Kettle shows us this uncomfortable truth, that not every question needs to have an answer. And maybe that's why humans keep getting drawn to such mysteries over and over. We've seen cities submerged underwater, seen the sky descend to the ground, seen blood flowing from ice, seen a lake turning pink, and now seen water disappearing. So the question arises, is the Earth really like what we read in books? Or is this just the surface, beneath which even weirder truths are hidden? Moving ahead from the disappearing water of Devil's Kettle, we now arrive at a place that doesn't even feel like part of Earth. Socotra Island, an island near Yemen that many people call Earth's alien planet. The moment you set foot here, it feels like you've landed on some other planet, because about 37% of the plants and creatures here aren't found anywhere else in the world. And the most famous is the dragon blood tree, which looks like an umbrella from above, and from whose trunk a red sap flows, just like blood. In ancient times, people considered it a magical medicine. The excitement here comes from the fact that Socotra remained isolated from the rest of the world for millions of years, so life here made its own separate rules, its own separate shapes, and its own separate ways, as if nature experimented here. But fear and sadness come when we realize that this unique island is no longer safe. Climate change, intense storms, and modern development are slowly breaking this fragile ecosystem. Just think, if an alien really came to Earth and saw Socotra, maybe they'd head back without even looking at the rest of the planet. But the urgency is that if we don't pay attention now, future generations will only see Socotra in documentaries and photos, as a place that was once real. And right here, this entire journey completes a circle. We saw history submerging in Shicheng, saw the future in danger in Salar de Uyuni, saw life's stubbornness in Blood Falls, saw nature's quiet smile in Lake Hillier, saw the lack of answers in Devil's Kettle, and in Socotra Island we saw our own reflection, that wherever humans go, they carry the risk of breaking the balance with them. These places aren't just mysterious, they're warnings. And the question now isn't how strange the Earth is. The question is, will we do something in time to save it? These were some of the most mysterious places in our world that scare us, shock us, and force us to think. If you liked this video, then definitely like and share. Because the more people know, the more hope there is to save it. Tell us in the comments, which of these places made you think the most?